What's going on, guys? John Spirit Collectibles. I had the merch for the Whatnot Con, so I figured why not just look how floppy hats were not made for me. I feel like I'm about to go on a really bad fishing trip. I don't know, but when you do Whatnot Con, you get one of these bags. If you were selling, you get one of these bags. Make sure that you get it. It's got all the stuff in it that I haven't really figured out what to do with yet. I love my bidding. Is this a bidding paddle? Because if it's a bidding paddle, I love it. Is that what it's supposed to represent? Right? Bidding paddle? Keep cool and stay social. Why did Twitter have to change to X, man? It's like the worst. I thought it was like an April Fool's joke when they changed to X. Like, that literally is the worst change of any brand I've ever seen in my life. Is it not? It's like, it really is horrible. X is literally like the icon that you use to close things out too when you're online. Anyway, I'm John Spirit Collectibles. My voice has been gone for a while, so I stopped doing these for a minute. It's still kind of coming back. Now I fucked up. Edit. This fits a lot of other guys a lot better than me, so I'm gonna skip this. But that's one of the things you get. They were really cool sending these things. Let's see what else is in the bag. What's in the bag? We got a giveaway. I like to keep it positive, but I'm gonna talk about some of the negative things. I got 5 on it. Welcome. Last time we talked about like what not to do and whatnot, and the big thing last time I thought was really obvious, but I don't think we really had a lot of people guess it right. Like they weren't. I figured people would know exactly what not to do when shipping. We're talking about shipping. Like what should you not do when shipping, reselling? And that's send people stuff with smelly cigarettes and nastiness. Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that reselling. Did you get your little swag bag? I love the bidding paddle. Underrated. April 11th, guys. Bookmark my shows too. Why not? I don't really know what I know it's gonna be a big G.I. Joe action figure show. I'm not sure. Kind of what else we're gonna do. Are we gonna stay on 45 minutes and then do we raid? That's what I gotta figure out all that stuff. So what else is in the bag here? So last time it was don't send cigarette smoked nasty product. You shouldn't be selling on this platform or any other platform if you're gonna send people stuff that has an odor like that. That's just not right. And I'm not the type to throw 1-star reviews out there, but I won't buy from you again. You ever figure out how it works? Let me know. You got it. Oh, I'm gonna put my lanyard. You need a lanyard for any kind of convention. If you're in the corporate world, or you were in the corporate world, lanyards are the staple. If you ever figure out how it works, I don't think I miss going to conventions and stuff like that, and setting up booths. Reselling. I don't know if you're ever in that world, man. There's like labor unions and stuff involved. The first one I ever did, we didn't know what we were doing, and we went to the Jacob Javits Center. This is like my old life. And we didn't realize like the union guys have to set your stuff up. So we like snuck all our stuff in and set our own booth up. You're not supposed to do that. All right. If you can figure out how it works. Guys, so the second one I want to talk about, I guess we'll talk about after the giveaway. Oh, that's neat. Reselling. I've noticed this lately, and I need to stay off the streams, reselling. I need to stay off the streams because I get angry when I see this stuff happen. I set up tables and run to get out of here. That's amazing. So you know what I'm talking about. That's so funny. So I was probably the kind of like vendor that you hated, who was like, I got this, leave me alone. Because in New York they were charging like a new business, like you couldn't afford what they were charging to set up the booth and all that stuff. From a buyer's perspective, I made a deal with one seller and they canceled my order. Did not price the shipping correct. That's a weird one, right? That's a tough one. As long as if they had good communication with you, I think it's not okay if they had like a little handshake deal with you. But they were like just didn't know what they were doing. It sounds like in terms of shipping, and they put their deal foot in their mouth there. I guess, right? What do you think, Ryan? What is your perspective on that? Are you pretty upset about that? Or are you understanding of how big was the item? Okay, you're pissed. So what was the item? And maybe there's some sort of alternative solution there. But you're right. Like that's tough. Like to get into a deal with somebody and not think that through. Mickey Design, thank you for coming back in. Remind me what you collect, Mickey Design. I've had that happen before. You gotta be really careful as a seller before you start quoting prices, not knowing what shipping is gonna cost. But then again, if they did it through here, Rolling Thunder shell, that couldn't be that expensive. I think my guess is they priced it out wrong. They might have done the wrong girth and the wrong, you know what I mean? Like they might have done the wrong dimensions. How much? I mean, I wonder how much it was because that's gonna make a huge difference, right? That one is tough, but whatnot ties our hands. Okay. Transformers. Oh, GPK, perfect. G.I. Joe. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Wouldn't have guessed that, Mickey. Thank you. All right, Mickey. Transformers. All right, so that's I didn't talk about what we're going to talk about yet. Now, I think you guys would be interested in this topic. This is all off the cuff. Reselling heard me talk about this a little bit, but I've noticed this in streams lately. Young man, what's up, Big Al? I might be like 2 years younger than you, 78 here. I spent over 800 on other stuff with them, right? Yeah, that's I'm not liking that situation, right? I think that you could work something out with them, hopefully. Plus, as one not sellers, we get what, 5 redos? What do you call it, reselling? You get five yeah, redos, and they'll cover your costs. I guess I don't know if that's for every seller, but you get 5 chances to make a first impression. So if you mess up, you kind of learn from your mistakes, and they hook you up. Newer seller, yeah, that's tough, right? I'm sorry about that, but maybe we need to find you a Rolling Thunder shell for a better price, and maybe it'll work out for you in the end. So there might be some sellers we can talk to in the Joe streams to get that for you. I'm actually going to a huge toy store today in a little bit. I need to go to try to pick up maybe wheel and deal and pick up some inventory for you guys because I have those huge GI Joe shows coming up. I got a lot of good stuff, but not like I want more. So I'll look for it. You chuckle at the young man. 48. I'm gonna be 46 in July, Big Al. What happened to us? We were young men. It's driving me crazy, man. Just the shell only. It did have the canopy. All right. If the box is bigger than 12, 12, 12, so 12, 12, it maybe, I don't know about that reselling because it all, it's the combined dimensional weight, right? So how big is a Rolling Thunder shell? Because you want to get your depth, you want to be as tight as possible because that's where you get dinged on the multiplication there. 12, 12, 12, I know what you mean. It's like, maybe we're saying the same thing. I might not realize that you're saying the exact same thing. I sell large items and have had to pay out of pocket. Okay. Gotcha, reselling. How big is a Rolling Thunder shell? I mean, if it's like a 20, let's say it's like you need like a 20 by 12 by 10 box. Is that the same as 12, 12, 12? I don't have to do the math on that one. But here's the thing. This is what I noticed. What up, Steve Wilson? This is what I noticed recently. And I want to hear from the buyers and sellers if you guys notice this. And what does Peter Griffin say? It grinds my gears. You're in a stream, total combination of measurements. Yes. And you're watching the seller. And I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but they're yelling at chat, telling them that what they're selling is under the money. Fine, whatever. We all make that mistake. You shouldn't do that. But they're quoting the under the money way incorrectly. They're saying these normally go for 50 to 100, which is a really weird number, by the way, 50 to 100. These normally go for 50, and then everything's transparent. It's all you have to do is go on eBay and look up a box of baseball cards or whatever it was, and look up how much they sell for. There's plenty of evidence of what it should actually sell for. So why would you lie? First of all, you look like a liar, you look like you have no integrity, you're a complainer, or you also look like you don't know what you're doing because you're pricing these things out wrong. So what's going to happen when your buyer gets that in the mail and you're like, oh man, I'm so excited, I got this $50 box. He said I was getting a good deal and I paid 35 for it, and he was saying how great of a deal it was. And then I look it up and like I could have bought the same thing on eBay or wherever, maybe somewhere else and whatnot, for 27 or 25. That does not leave a good taste in any buyer's mouth, I would think, right, guys? So have you seen that happen where somebody's overhyping something that's not true? Either they don't know what they're doing and they're saying these things, or they're charlatans, for lack of a harsher word that I'm not going to use. I don't think they paid that much for the entire lot. Okay, I think they spent a lot of money and they made a deal. Yeah, right. I don't. That's not okay. Like that's what I would have done in that situation. Well, first, if I made that mistake, then I eat the mistake, right? But I would hope to not make that mistake in the first. Right, right. You just have to eat it at that point, unless it's like egregious and it's like he's paying an extra $100. He's like paying you to ship it at that point. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's like, all right, let's add some reasoning in here and say, you know what, that's not cool. Like I wouldn't want that to happen to me where I'm buying from you and you're like, yeah, I quoted you that, and I just found out I have to spend $100 more on the ship. I'm just making that up, but over 25, yeah, I think you just eat it at that point as a seller. You just that's part of it, and it's a lesson that you learn at that point, and you say, I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to make sure that I get my shipping right all the time. But I feel like corporate golf, welcome. People just believe the sellers. Yeah, you should know what you're buying. There is a buyer's responsibility there. I totally agree, corporate. It really left a bad taste in my mouth, and I didn't finish the worst part about this stream that I was watching. Not only were they complaining about the prices, giving the wrong prices, but they were also like banning chat and getting upset with chat for pointing some of this out and asking questions. You can't do that. That's not okay. These are A lot of pandemic sellers have no integrity to run a business. It's looked at like a cash grab. To do good business isn't a main priority. I mean, that's what I wonder reselling. Like, what is going on with that? You know what I mean? Should have been a learning event, not a cancellation. I totally agree, right? I 100% agree with that. And they should know that. I personally would tell them that if I were you, in the nicest way possible. I mean, I don't know where you stand with them and what kind of relationship you have with them, but they're also going to lose you as a customer. That's not good. So that's always that's the thing I used to struggle with my old business is that I would always be very lenient with customers. Everyone was always paranoid that the customers were trying to get something over on the company, and I'm like, you know what? If that's like 1% of our customers or a half percent of our customers, I don't believe that's true. I'd rather give them that free thing, like give them a refund on shipping instead of losing that customer. I spend, $10. I take a $10 hit now, and then maybe they'll order 100 times after that. So it's a no-brainer. I don't spend a penny with them ever again, right? They just prove the point exactly. Why not interested in having a clean platform? Since company sellers are the ones who have dedicated rep. Ooh. Now reselling, I don't know the details because I guess I stay off of all the stuff because I don't really want to know all those things. But I mean, maybe you're right. I don't know, but I would love it. I would love to be like a whatnot, like a security sniper, almost like a slap them on the wrist, kind of. Hey, stop lying to the chat. Stop doing that. Stop bullshitting, chat. And if I do it, call me out. If I make a mistake, I'm always asking people like, I think this is how much this is worth or whatever. Like this is my idea of what I think the condition is. If you see anything otherwise, let me know. I don't want to make a mistake. And if I do make a mistake, I got your back. I accept cancellations, all that stuff. And neither Dan just want to know. Thanks, reselling. I do know the deeds. Let's see. Hey, Task, thank you. You'll snipe. Task, I appreciate you. Task, I got some good Star Wars stuff coming. I consider myself an excellent buyer, right? Yeah, I agree. Who pays online and buys frequently. Yeah, it's that's bad practice for anyone to just lose a good customer like that, right? That's not okay. So hopefully we can all learn some of that. If there's a few sellers in here that are learning anything from what Rai just said, definitely pay attention to that. But yeah, I don't want to like harp on this, but have you guys seen anything like that? Maybe I haven't seen. Shy Allen, welcome. Honestly, a couple things. I try to stay off the app. I don't have time to be on it, to be honest. Like I'd love to find deals, and it's fun to watch some streamers, and I learn from other streamers too. I hope you guys do as well. All right, right, interesting. I mean, the other thing is these sellers won't be on here very long or other platforms if they keep running businesses like that. That's not the right way to just do things. So they're just not going to last. Like I talked about this in previous Q&As where the sellers were ban happy and I got banned. Like that guy's, I'm sure he's long gone from the app. Like you don't have the temperament to sell in here if you're going to ban people when they're literally just trying to help you out and you don't know it and you take it personal and you think that they're doing something against you. It's weird. My friend I invited to Whatnot was to buy a seller. He won a pair of free shoes, but the seller requested $30 for shipping. What? Was to buy a seller. He won a pair of free shoes. That's confusing. So you're saying that he won a giveaway? If I'm understanding correctly, I don't. They said he won. So you're saying that it was a giveaway, like an actual giveaway. If it's an actual giveaway, that's 100% on the seller. And definitely, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's up to Toy Man. Toy Man is somebody that's integrity on here. Question $30 from him. Yeah, that doesn't make sense first time. What I would do is take that, if it's an official order from Whatnot, maybe just send the correspondence to Whatnot, scammer. That's messed up. Yeah, I've never heard anything like that ever. But again, I'm like naive to this stuff, Toy Man, that people are capable of doing those things. Maybe there's some sort of context I'm missing though. I've been buying a lot of coins lately. I've heard bad things about coins. I want to see this. Some sellers need a manicure, hand wash. Yeah, I mean that's good advice, Task. I gotta say though, I'm embarrassed by since my hands are so dry. But and I even after I get a manicure, they can still look no bueno. So I think some people have no control over that. But yes, hand wash would definitely and a manicure are definitely highly recommended. I couldn't agree more with you on that one. Let's see, the money was going to him directly. It wasn't for shipping. Something's really wrong with that first time. So let me make sure I understand. The guy won a giveaway, and then he's trying to charge him money. So if I'm understanding, he won a giveaway. That's it. It's over. He won the giveaway. Seller will cover shipping. That's it. It's simple as that. There's no other exchange that should happen unless you're saying that he's trying to buy something else, but that's still not okay because you have to purchase through the platform. So that the whole thing doesn't sound right. The ban happy streamers like to keep the truth out of the chat. Yes, you're right, reselling. I think that's what it is. And then they'll call it bad vibes, or they'll call it like whatever they call it. They mask it with that that person's the problem. And I get it. Like you don't have to be there. If everyone, you should leave. Like you shouldn't be in a stream like that. And they'll say that, and that makes sense. And if everyone else wants to get ripped off and let them do their thing, then I guess they'll stay and get on get ripped off. What up, JK? This is a new guy to platform, so trying to take advantage of him. First time, I'd love to hear more about this in the message. I would do more research into that seller to see what's going on, and I would contact Whatnot about that. That's not okay. Like, that's crazy. Infinity, and beyond. What do you collect? I'll try to send you something that's geared towards what you like. If you're a collector, Infinity. Do you collect Pokemon, Garbage Pail Kids, sports cards? Let me know what you collect, and I'll try to send you something cool. Could be a similar username, Scammer. The toy man, that's interesting. They sent him a message. Excellent. I will buy something to support it. Yeah, Joe. The Joe category is chock full of good people. Before I use this app, here we go. I like to read new chats here from like someone that's new here to me. I use the app primarily for trading cards. I heard only bad things about it through vids, etc. Gave it a try about 2 months ago, and wait, we have it. What's the second part? The community and sellers are great. Yeah, Zoe, well said, Zoe. That's exactly what happens. Because the majority of the sellers, my interactions here have been top notch, amazing. But you're right, there are those bad apples, and some of them have already been kicked off the platform. And I know Whatnot is really serious about that. And a reselling is going to say, well, what about this, this, and this? I don't know about that, but I do know that they've kicked off some of the worst people who were just complete cheaters. I mean, it's horrible. I don't know how you can run a business and think you're going to get away with that when all that trading card world is viral, first of all, and is a small community. And Star Wars, all right, perfect. Small community, and everything is freaking videoed. What do you think you're getting away with anyway? Like, it's ridiculous. All this stuff is captured live. Everyone can clip, and everyone can screen capture. So why would you do anything that's not above board? It's not 100%, okay. And then you're just never going to sell in here again. So then you're screwed. Community and sellers are great. Unfortunately, I call the apples. Yep. Anything Star Wars I collect. Thank you, Infinity. I got a big Star Wars show coming up. The Toy Man says, like I've heard of people hitting big cards and breaks, and then someone trying to buy the card getting contacted by similar usernames. It's interesting. Gary Vee mentality. Everyone is a hater. It's just a simple deflection tactic. Call someone a hater to dismiss the truth and deflect the question. I love Gary Vee, by the way. I was early Gary Vee when he was just playing in small clubs. People create look-alike usernames to scam sometimes. Are you serious, dude? Yeah, the Toy Man, great advice to your friend for a first time. I totally agree with the Toy Man. That actually makes more sense to me than a seller reaching out and asking for that. I think he's right. I mean, I think the Toy Man has a really good point right there. Hold on. Gary's another scammer? I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I mean, I used to listen to him a long time ago when he was more talking about like business and marketing and things like that. Like, I remember like before like Snapchat, blew up, or Instagram, he was like talking about that stuff when it was in its infancy. And when he was talking about wine library, can we suggest fines? How do you mean? Can we suggest fines? Is that a typo? Let's do one more giveaway. He talks a lot. Yeah. Like stuff for you to look out for. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about through, what are we talking? What's the topic? Bring up any topic. I'd love to talk about it with you guys. Let's see. Before I go, I do have to go soon to go to that toy store, pick up some stuff for the Joe show. And the Toy Man, by the way, I had to schedule the Whatnot Con. There's only a few open spots. I'm not trying to overlap you, just so you know. Whatnot Con. I think you and I are, and maybe one other person, are the only ones in it in the action figure category, or at least in Joe category. I know I saw Toy Federation. Did you see they're added on now, which is, I think, really smart of them. Like stuff we look out for, like be on the lookout for like things to buy, or what to look out for in the app, like problems on the app. 12 on Friday. I don't even know, Toy Man. I might just do all action figures and change it from G.I. Joe to all action figures or something like that. I just had to take a time slot. I didn't want to not take the second time slot, right? Do you have 2 time slots also, Toy Man? I figured, how can I not take 2 of them if I'm going to be on this Whatnot Con? I may as well. What up, Sarah's Attic? Guys, follow Sarah's Attic. And also, just one time, you didn't want to do the second one? Guys, make sure that you, if you want to shout out one of your shows, this is a great platform to do so, to meet other sellers in here also. All action figures didn't want to go just Joe. Oh, reselling. Okay, Woodstocker. Oh my God, Woodstocker. I was just watching our interview this morning and thinking how I need to do another collector interview and how I totally slacked on that and regret it. Because now I want to do like shorter interviews with people. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go to the YouTube. Not only can go to the YouTube, you can check out the Q&As that we've done here on my YouTube. You can also see those couple collectors interviews that we did, including Woodstocker. Reselling everything is part of Whatnot Con. They must let everybody the toilet. That's great. How is Italy? Oh my God. Woodstocker. Let's keep in touch. But I need to do more of those. I actually was going to start interviewing other, instead of just collectors, I was going to interview other Whatnot sellers, which I think would tie in really nice to this. We did do that last time. Like I did a simul, what's it called? A co-host with reselling, not reselling everything, a co-host with remix collectibles. And that was pretty cool. So stuff like that. Butter dish bonanza? I must not know that. I wanted to hear Zodith made a good point though before they had a question. I wanted to follow up on that if they're still here. They had to bring me on offset the. Are reselling? I wonder reselling the Toy Man if it's more of a longevity on the app thing that they're letting. Oh yeah, right, definitely. If they're letting people mostly give first come first serve people that have been on the longest. Like Echo, are you doing Whatnot Con? You've been on a really long time. What's going on, Echo? For Whatnot Con, interviewed a Toy Man, and the Toy Man. You know, I'd love to interview you. Blast, that's interesting. I don't really. That's a great suggestion, Rai. I'd like to interview like some of the other guys in the stream, Roadster maybe. Who else? Right? Even you too. Anyone who wants to. And we were going to call it show and tell. So you could show off your collection, things about your collection. I'll ask you, if it's G.I. Joe related, we'll talk about G.I. Joe. If it's Star Wars, we'll talk about Star Wars. Whatever it is, we can do a quick interview, and you can use that, any way you want. It's going to be on my social. And then also interviewing Whatnot sellers, I think is a fantastic thing that I really want to do. So if any Whatnot sellers are interested, just so we can talk Whatnot, and then get the info out there about you as a seller. Interview Pun. He would tell you a bunch of fart jokes. I think Pun would be a good interview. He would definitely have a lot to talk about. I think you could do like a 6-hour marathon with him because he has such a bank of information about collecting. So I could definitely see that. Any new sellers in here, real quick, that are maybe just getting on the app, that are about to sell and do maybe their first show? I'd love to hear about that. McClunky for yes, right. Fantastic advice. I did a co-host thing with McClunky for one of these. I need to post that, but I'd rather do a full-out interview with McClunky. McClunky's a great guy. So is C-Finger. I think those are great suggestions, Ryan. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing the stream. I am curious about whether that affects the algorithm. I never know if it does or not, but I'm also not selling. Handful of shows so far. Oh, Mickey, what are you selling, MC? Is it Mickey Design? Will this tickle the algorithm if I just put this Whatnot sign up here? Do you think it'll like boost the algorithm maybe? All right, let's try it. Someone said that they I don't think it's smart to do that like an audio algorithm. They're like, if you say Gucci 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 all over over and over again, it brings people in. I don't think that's true. Notification pop up from YouTube. All right, right, that's cool. I love that. By the way, if you have a YouTube channel, I was telling Remix, they need to get our YouTube channel just because you can automatically simulcast this to your YouTube. So if you're like, I don't want to start a YouTube channel, it takes too long. Start the YouTube channel and your shows automatically become your content. Then you take your content from the YouTube shows or your clips here and you can turn them into shorts. So most of the hard work's being done for you by Whatnot, connecting the apps together with that API. It's crazy. To be honest with you, come again probably as a bank of knowledge. To be honest with you. I'm glad you saw it there. So Mickey, you sell everything. What category? MP Gonzalez, who's like a perennial all-star, long time supporter. I really appreciate you, MP. MP Gonzalez was literally like in my first shows, like 3 years ago, right, MP? So G.I. Joe for you, MP? I know you collect other things too, but let me know if there's something else. They still haven't hired me, guys. Yep. I guess I gotta push a little more on my end to have that happen, MP. We need a vote for Donnelly, vote for Springer to get me on the other side, so I think I'll be more of a help to you guys on the other side too. Storage unit mostly. Storage unit is a wonderful category. New Star Wars this Friday. There we go. Milky Way Skywalker. New, Star Wars this Friday, 7 o'clock, guys. Check out Milky Way this Friday. I'll check it out in a second. For the established sellers, how long did it take y'all to perfect your setup? That's a wonderful question. Hold on. Let me look at Mickey's design real quick. I like looking at people's profiles. Not that mine's the best, but We can just see if there's anything we can fix on yours. Uh, Disabled eBay seller, storage auction treasure hunter, and whatnot seller. Um, let's see here. So we have any shows coming up? Picture of the cat never hurts either. Let's see. But if you're live from a storage unit, that's always good. People love unboxing. You can go either way, as you guys know, because if people are like, impatient, they're waiting for you to find something they want. But at the same time, there's that unboxing psychology there too. MP, I appreciate you, by the way. Let's see, Milky Way, Star Wars. Let's see. I've done a bunch of Star Wars shows on here. I like you already have your stuff set up, Milky Way, which is what Whatnot obviously recommends. You have 2 shows at least set up. I would set up as many as you can, even if you have to reschedule them at some point. Just get them up there. Like I already have my May the 4th be with you like Star Wars show set up, so people can bookmark that one. But 4/12, 10:05 p.m. guys. Star Wars 3.75-inch action figures. Is that vintage? Looks like it's gonna be vintage, right? And then one more thing I noticed, Milky Way, put something in your, I would use your profile to put something in there about yourself as a collector or a seller. Why not? Like just, put something in there to maybe personalize who you are a little bit more, in my opinion. How long did it take y'all to perfect your setup? So corporate, that's tough because I would love to hear what other people say. My setup changes is the thing I sell from different spots. So I think it's really easy to do a setup if you're talking about just lighting and all that kind of thing. Like it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much of an investment. Um, I mean, I was using tape rolls, like, and putting my phone in the tape roll instead of a tripod. If I forgot my tripod, or sometimes it gave me a better angle because it's really low, and it just worked out as long as it wasn't blocking the volume on the phone. But also, it depends: are you going to use your phone, or are you going to use your iPad? What device are you going to use? But just a couple lights, or I mean, a ring light's fine too. But just as long as it's like either natural lighting is going to work, or like 2 cheap little like lights. Like I would use like daylight bulb lights. You don't want to use the yellow stuff; it's going to change the way everything looks. But that's easy stuff out there. Let's see if I have any lights here to show you. But just a simple ring light, and you want to get it so there's no shadows. So maybe one on each side, kind of like in photography. Um, or if you just have a nice bright room, that's going to work too. I would just make sure that you check with Chad about your sound and the look, and make sure that they can see everything clearly. How does shipping work? It says you can only edit 5 times. On my last show, I had to edit all of them. Uh-oh. Echo, why did you have to edit all of them? Was everything sized incorrectly? That would just be from the start, like making sure that the products you're selling are going to match what you're shipping. So if you're doing action figures, I mean, you could just do everything at like 1 to 3 ounces or something. Nikki says I'm getting ready to move my store. Oh, like a brick and mortar? Let's see. I gotta go play dolls. All right, check out reselling everything too, guys. Got right? All right, haven't sold anything yet, but was wanting to know if you can sell stuff without. Yes, Jeremy. As far as I know, you could just set up your shop and start selling without having to do any shows. I don't know if you. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you need approval for that from Whatnot. I don't think so. If anyone else out there knows, I believe you can just use the store option, the shop option, start loading stuff up there. And the cool thing is when you do become a seller, all those items will be available for you to import into your show. Um, and that's one of the best features I've seen on Whatnot too, because instead of having to enter everything, you can use the existing work that you've already done and all the listings. G.I. Jason will be an interesting interview, military journey to civilian medical professional. Definitely, Ryan, I agree. I should just interview all the Joe sellers, honestly. Let's see. Size. So Echo, I don't know. I wouldn't. It depends what size they were. Was it really, if it couldn't have been that big of a change, I would hope. I don't think you have to edit every label though. If you're close, you can. Here we go. You can edit every shipping label. You get 5 free adjustments, says the Toy Man, and they only charge if you go from under 1 pound to over. Exactly, the Toy Man. Well said. Thank you for posting that, the Toy Man. Exactly. The dimensional weight is so important, guys. That's what's going to kill you. You can take like a 1 pound item, but if you put that 1 pound item in a really big box and it exceeds those dimensions, the price of shipping is going to skyrocket. It's going to treat it like a 30-pound package if it's the wrong size. So if you're wondering why that's happening when you're typing all that in, it's the dimensions. And you got to make sure, you want less void in the box as much as you can anyway. You want that box tight. So any extra void, anything over those dimensions that Toyman mentioned, you're going to get nailed like it's a heavy package. Dude, did I answer all the chats, by the way? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Any other new sellers that want to shout out what's coming up, let me know. One of the things that we talked about last time was make sure that you know that your stuff is not smoky. That if you are a smoker or you bought stuff from a smoky house or whatever it is, like you got to clean that or don't sell it. because that's going to kill you. Your customers are going to hate it. Nobody wants to open up a package that reeks of cigarette smoke, and this, I sure don't. And the other thing was we were talking about just having integrity in your streams and not bullshitting about the prices of things, and not being ban happy with chat. Now that's only really going to apply to sellers that have a lot of people in their chat usually, because usually there's a lot going on when you have like 80, 90, 100 people in your show. If we're a smaller seller and we just have 5, 10, 15, 20 people in our show, it's probably not going to really apply to us, right? Because that's like a smaller, more chill show versus like someone that's just doing a bunch of sudden deaths at like 20 seconds. Corporate Gus is not furry. I have a ton of pets and a ton of lint rollers. I clean everything before sending. Wait, what? That's good. That's smart. Exactly. You don't want pet hair. That's a good point as well. You definitely don't want pet hair when people are opening up their packages either. So that's good that you think about that. Thanks, Echo. I know, like one time I got a really bad GI Joe lot, and I had instead of I'm not gonna sell it. Like I went above and beyond on this one. Like I soaked all the plastic until there was no cigarette smoke. I changed all the O-rings. I changed anything that could hold an odor. I had like Lysol, like little tents, just to kill it the best I could. But is this better than a full time? I mean, JQs are. I would imagine the answer is yes. If as long as you can it fits into your lifestyle, into your life. Are you thinking about selling, JQ? And it depends if you like doing this. Like I didn't know this even existed, right? Like I didn't know. Most people you talk to have no idea that live selling is even a thing. That live stream auctions. When I say it, I feel like I'm like speaking a language. Is that any sellers in here have that happen? You try to explain what you do, or even if you just sell here part time, and you're like, yeah, I sell and whatnot. And I try to explain it. I'm like, and they still don't understand. Even when I give a good explanation, it's still so new to most people that they just have no idea. All the time, says Mickey Designs, and I'll be like, yeah, it's like eBay meets QVC, but on speed. So it's kind of like someone that's older will get the QVC part because it really is like QVC, right? We're putting something up, we're selling it, we got an audience, people are buying it. You can say I can say you're an auctioneer. I guess you could say you're an auctioneer. I guess I run live stream auctions. You could say that's true. A lot of people don't get it at all. And then the different categories, and forget about that. Like they don't understand like there's this thing like that people collect things is a whole other thing. And now it's become normal in my brain because I'm not a collector. But when I first learned about like sports card breaks, no one knows what a sports card break is. They don't know what you know that people have a basement full of Star Wars figures, perfectly laid out like a museum. Do you recommend getting an EIN LLC to become a seller? Yeah, definitely right. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think so. If you're gonna sell frequently, because I think no matter what you sell, JQ, even sell on eBay anywhere, you're gonna have to report that somehow, right? It's over $600, so you may as well. I still don't know what breaks are. I love see, for easy pay option. We got Deborah on the line. QVC, yeah, the toy man. Is QVC and home? They're still around, right? Like people still buy like that, right? They're the original live sellers, right? I guess unless you mean like real auctions back in the day. Let's see, auctioneer. I'm growing every day, says Jeremy. I see new buyers all the time. All right, Jeremy, let's see what you sell. I didn't see that. But yeah, why not get an LLC? If you're going to sell, I think you should. It's not hard to do. And get a business account and a business card, and then all of your inventory can go that you buy, and all of your payments can all go channel through that. I think it's a good idea because maybe you'll get a lot bigger, and then you'll have that foundation already set up. Let's see. I still don't know what breaks are. So breaks are like, let's see, for like sports cards. Let's say there's a box of cards and there's packs. Let me see if I get packs. So this is a bad example, but it should be good enough to do it quick. Hopefully, this one man will probably get a really good explanation in one paragraph versus me doing this show and tell, which I would appreciate. Anyway, let's pretend this is a good box of cards, and we're gonna break this. So there's 32 teams. I'm gonna say we randomize the teams. Everyone buys into the break. So anything that you get in here that has your team, you get that card in a break. Hopefully that makes sense. Then we rip all the packs open and we try to find hits. So this is an old thing that is not going to have hits in it, but newer cards have hits, which means they have autographs, they have short prints, they have what I call contrived rarity, where the company makes something rare. They'll make something out of only one of one, or out of 25 or out of 50. So the people that get into these breaks, they try to get in for a lower price instead of buying the whole case themselves. They'll enter into the break so they have a chance at hitting a big card or two. I hope that makes sense. And then there's smaller breaks too. I mean, you could do like garbage pail kids, for example. I do those breaks, and people will get like dozens and dozens of cards. Decon, let's see, Dakin, I can't pronounce your name. Try telling people that you buy auction storage units and sell items. People get so confused. That's a good one. I think people are getting it more though because of shows like for the storage people out there, they get it because they see shows like what Storage Warriors and all those kind of shows. I kind of get it. Yeah, corporate. I would say honestly, watch some of those streams not only to learn what a break is, but to watch how some of these sellers sell and how they carry themselves. There's obviously ones that are not good at with, they're not that great, but there's some sellers that are so good. Like I learned from some of them just to learn how they run a show. I would watch watch shoe sellers, watch breakers, watch Pokemon people. Kraken 23, great example. Kraken, one of, I don't know, it's multiple guys, I guess, that stream for Kraken, and they're all, the ones I've heard are all top notch. They're like some of the best. So I would deals to steal, and it depends on their vibe too. Like some people have like a real chill vibe and it works, and they're just, I don't know. It's a weird thing where, or they're hyped up like Blazendary, who's just like go 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 go, and you can learn a lot from him too. So you can learn anything from like the most subdued seller up to the most hyped seller. I think you can learn one little thing, and it can help you, or maybe it's just entertaining too. Love to get into that. Says Doc on. Let's see, try telling people. So Dak store is let's see. I can say your name of your store. Dak Namania. We sell collectible toy, goth, and anything from storage units. There you go. Good profile. Oh, you got a show coming from the 13th. We've got Xbox, PlayStation consoles, storage unit finds. I love the storage unit finds category. I'm gonna follow back here, guys. Check out Dak Nomania store. I think I said it right that time. Dak Nomania. Let's see, blazonary style tournament. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you might find what not to do. Like that doesn't work for you. But I would say explore other sellers and see. Like I've learned a lot from shoe sellers. I've learned from breakers. Going twice when I first came on here was definitely a huge influence on the way I would run shows. The way that they would, I don't know, I can't explain it. But when I've had people compliment me, and I'm not saying that to brag, like, and say I learned kind of to run my shows and the cadence of my shows, and took some of what you do and then put my own little twist on it that I'm comfortable with. So, that's just general obvious advice. I think. I don't know, Doc. I think I'm too old to understand. Not you're never too old, but like to really understand. Just like I don't understand Travis Scott, I don't understand why sneaker sellers are verbally abusive. But I think it's part of the fun and part of the game, maybe. Or they're just maybe. I don't think they're all like that at all. They can't all be like that. I think there's a lot of them are just, it could be a maturity thing. Also, it could just be part of their strategy. Honestly, I have no idea. What's the best two device setup for shows? I mean, I think you should always have a laptop available no matter what. You should always be on the desktop because I think that's good to have in case the app on your phone starts messing up. You have the desktop to run auctions still, and that way you don't have to touch the phone. And I'm guilty of doing that too. Um, it's like they're doing you a favor by letting you spend your money with them. Corporate, I definitely understand what you're saying. You're right. It happens for card breakers too. A lot of those types of categories for some reason. I hit over 300 followers and I still struggle to get bookmarks my shows. Yeah, bookmarks. That's a good point. Let's see. 23. I mean, you're gonna have to keep leveraging other platforms to get people over here. Like if you're in certain collector groups and things like that, and if you have friends in the community, things like this where we can shout you out and say, go check out 23's bookmarks. Doing it in advance in certain categories, like having those streams up there for a while to slowly build organically, get those bookmarks. You know, that's one way to do it, I would think. But it's all about consistency, 23, and building your audience at that point. I've noticed, and I could be wrong, I think it's getting harder and harder now because there's so many sellers. And I think I got lucky because I was on here early. So it seemed a lot easier to gain a big following and to have that consistency. But now, like, I don't get that many bookmarks myself either, honestly. Um, so that's a good question. But I would say cross-platform, bring people in, and consistency and planning in advance. Those are the things that come to mind real quick. I keep mentioning what not to friends, says MB Gonzalez, that are collectors. Out of like 15, only two I know are active. Yeah, I don't understand why MP. I think if you told a collector about whatnot, like I would warn them that it's addictive and amazing. And it sounds like they're like apprehensive to even go on here. Like I don't know why they wouldn't. Like they're only gonna make friends in the community. What up, Punisher? Like they're gonna make friends in the community. They might find some great deals. They might connect with other collectors that they can communicate with off the platform. This platform is amazing for more than just buying and selling, which I didn't understand that at first. Again, maybe my generation, but this truly is a social community app. I mean, I've seen relationships come out of these, like friendships come out of all this. I've seen, just camaraderie and all sorts of things, and maybe people just, trading and wheeling and dealing with one another by meeting through the app. I'm nearing 500, maybe 20 people average. That's not bad, corporate. I think that's pretty solid, actually, personally. That's the when I hear a 9 minute long fart on a Punisher. Who's doing that? Are you just saying that's what it sounds like? Give them the free $15. MP watched for months first. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just an amazing app. Like, it's so addictive too. Like, I know if I were a collector, I've seen people be addicted to buying on here, and it's like if I could do like a bar, whatever a chart or something like that, like a curve. It, new to whatnot, and it's like, oh my god, this is amazing, peak, 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 and then it's like, okay, I gotta stop buying shit, and then they're like off the app for a while, and then I'm like, hey, I haven't seen you in like 2 months. I'm like, yeah, I'd take a break. I think that seems to be the trend. I wonder. I'm sure Whatnot has some numbers on that, some analytics on that, where they see the new buyers come in, the ones that are spending, and that's probably the trend. It's like buy, 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 and then they have to take a break because then boxes are showing up like crazy. It's so much fun and it's addictive, and you usually will get good deals on here. That's the truth. I mean, I think you're gonna get better deals in here than anywhere else. The reason if your ears can handle it, it's far too many mediocre or bad sellers just need money selling toys for nothing. Yeah, I mean, we were talking in the beginning about sellers without integrity and how they have no place on this platform or any other. To be honest, like I never, I'm like pretty neutral about stuff, pun. But when I see stuff like that, I want to call it out. I don't want the buyers to have to deal with someone like that. It's not okay, and it dilutes, the good sellers, and it also takes away from us, and it hurts the reputation of Whatnot. You get better deals on here, this platform, new to this. Thank you, Aid Lagan. I think you definitely get better deals in here. Not only that, but maybe you'll feel better about buying it from like a person that you want to buy from, right? Or the way you purchased it was fun as well, and you can see the item up close. Like if they're using good lighting, you know exactly what you're buying. Whereas sometimes if you're on eBay or Insta or whatever it is, and you're buying something, you may not see all the detail that you would that a good streamer is going to provide. That you know exactly what you're getting, just using that quality right there. Let's see, that was me. I started as a buyer since corporate golf. Presence daily. Had to stop. There you go. Once the credit cards maxed out, they slow down. I don't know if it's credit cards or what hardball. I'd love to ask some of the buyers who were buying relentlessly what their true experience was. I'm just kind of guessing. There's a market to maintain, and when you flood the market, it continues to sell low. That's where the item lands. True. That's true. Wiz, welcome, Creme. Stick with prices of what items sell. Don't mind selling it. Yeah, I mean, you gotta, as a seller, like we talked about this a million times, and I'm sure Whatnot has too. Is that if you are going to be unhappy with the sale price, then don't start it at $1 or $2. If you have 10 people in chat, especially like let's say you're in storage units or something, maybe one person is maybe interested in that pop that you have, and if you start at $1, it's going to sell for $1. Let's see. Now, if you were in like the Toyman stream and he's running GI Joes and you're there for GI Joes and there's 50 GI Joe collectors in there, starting at $1 is pretty damn safe, obviously. Let's see. Pun says if you're going to stream sick, in a bad mood, or not caring, don't MF bother because your vibe. Punisher, you're right, and I've been doing that lately. I've been doing exactly what you said, and I know when to hold them and when to fold them, and sometimes you just gotta fold them when you're just not feeling it. It's weird. Like I can literally feel my own vibe coming across, and I'm like, this is not my time right now. I need to take a break. It's not coming across the way that it normally does. But it depends because I sell storage unit items starting at 3. I make no money. What? The way I see it, I sell for the resellers. I like that, Dak. But so what I would look at in terms of that, if you're buying these units, I'm assuming, let's say you price it per item, it's going to be really low. I'm imagining, right? If that's how you buy it, oh, I got 1,000 items in here, and I paid $1,000. I'm looking at $1 item, so you can start things low, and you could build your reputation on the app too by doing that. But it also depends how much your value of your time too. Like I would want to do higher dollar items and not a bunch of $3 items. It's going to kill you as far as your time and what you could put into effort and other things. That's my opinion. Like, and I've done that. Like, if I started selling a bunch of these $2 packs here, right? like that's fun and all, but it's better to just sell the box at less and deal and touch it once. Because if you learn anything, like let's say in lean manufacturing, if I start putting my corporate hat on, lean manufacturing, like you don't want to touch things more than once per se. Like the less touches, the less movements and everything is going to save you time. So if I have to go in there and sleeve up 50 packs of cards to 20 different buyers, I'd rather just sell one big thing and be done with it in that regard. But and then you have to think about the fees. There's so much to think about. That's another reason I don't like dollar sales unless you're trying to build up your reputation, your following, and you don't mind taking that hit. Because a dollar sale is what, 60 cents in your pocket, maybe, or really it's a loss. You know, you will get pooped on and still maintain your pride and move on. Upon spitting truth, eventually your audience will grow and you will be on a very path of righteousness. There you go. It costs more money for me to hold on to items. Interesting, Dad, because of storage fees and things. Do you have a brick and mortar? That's interesting. Storage selling is definitely different. I mean, let's see. I mean, maybe just bundle more items together is what I would personally do. Just to get rid of more if you can't hold them. Do you really want to pack a $3 item that's big, or do you want to have sell price wrapping? Yeah, it's a good point. I think those kind of questions help the discussion too, Dak. Help the chat. Even if it doesn't apply to you, we can use your thing that you brought up to maybe talk about something that's helpful to everybody else. Increase your efficiency and your ASP, average selling price. That's not spinning. Um, yeah, just one man's right. If you just throw it in a box, I understand what you want to do. All right, we got a new Infinity 8 Beyond. Is there an advantage in sales when you are selling in person, in front of the camera, or staying? Oh, what a great question. Products are visible. I personally think, and I didn't read the rest of your question, it depends what the category is, right? I think you don't need to be on camera. I'm usually never on camera. I'm still getting used to being in front of the camera. I'd rather be behind the camera for a lot of reasons. But I think it's distracting. Like I'd rather just see the product. Let me see. Like I'd rather you just see that and listen to me, right? Like what do you need to see me for at that point? I think it makes it more personal, maybe that you see the person also. Like shoe sellers do that. I think that's just how they do it. But if it's a small item like Lego or card breaks, like I don't think you need to be on the camera unless you use like OBS and you could do a second camera and then you could show you actually opening the cards. I think that's a good thing too. But I think I'll go back to it. I think it depends on the product. I have super expensive items, but unfortunately, people won't buy a Mondo He-Man. Wait, what's a Mondo He-Man? Is that a Wonder Bread He-Man? For the price it needs to be. That's true. And that's Dak. That's where you're right. The long tail for eBay on that one makes sense. But you can put it in the shop here also. Put it in the shop here and do a buy now price here. Or create a game where that is the big prize and everyone has to buy in first and you know that you're going to make the money that you're looking for. That's how I did most of my stuff. I wouldn't have been able to keep doing stuff if I didn't do games. Like games are the only way that you can have a predictable outcome. Otherwise, you could really get crushed in your streams, and that's going to hurt. Packing is definitely key. Upon I agree. Opinion on why some veteran sellers hate news. Oh, I don't know anything about this corporate. I'm new to selling in general, and I double check everything and overprotect. And that's great. I don't try to have opinions about other sellers unless I come across their channel and I realize that something's not kosher and they don't have integrity. Then I'm not going to call them out personally, but I'm going to bring up that story and talk about it and things like this. And you guys know like that you shouldn't be in a stream like that anyway, and it's going to end up hurting them. But I don't think you should hate on anyone. If anything, and I consider myself a veteran seller here if we're talking about someone who's been on the app a long time. It's probably frustrating because the app is very saturated now. So many sellers would be the only thing I would think of. But I'd rather hype up all the other sellers and you guys talk about yourselves and have people come to your streams. Like you can't do everything. You can't have all the toys. Like I hype up other sellers and even my categories. I'll say go follow, Punisher, go follow the Toy Man. Trans Hunter Toy. I don't have that. Trans Hunter Toys might have that. So I think it depends. Corporate Goth. Let's see. JC Dino, what's going on? Why can't he pack comics? Wait, who? Who can't pack comics? You don't need to be. I am barely on camera. Yeah, Dak, I agree. Infinity, and it comes down to the person also. Infinity, like let's say you're an extroverted person, and maybe it's gonna, and it depends what you're selling. If you're in a storage unit, being on camera may not be such a bad thing. Like while you're unboxing, maybe it's kind of cool. And if you're the kind of person that is engaging and people want to see and talk to, like you're having a conversation with them, maybe that's a good thing. But if you're a little more introverted and you're doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, then take advantage and just stay behind the camera, in my opinion. And then just have really good items and really, really good camera angles and lighting and sound, and make that the product should be the thing that takes the show, not you or what you're saying. At the end of the day, the good product is what's going to matter more than anything. Um, Great to do both show the items well, but also connect your buyers. Yeah, the toy man does it perfectly. I've said this before. He will do, I don't know what percentage of the show you do this to toy man, but I watch him from time to time. He will sell, and then occasionally he'll just come on, he'll do the face cam. He'll say a little something, funny or interesting or to connect with the audience, and then he'll go back to selling again. So I like that combination. Um, so great advice by the toy man there, as usual. Let's see. You're lucky I'm over the toy, but you must learn about comics. Comics are a tough one. Great question, Rai. Let's take a look. Why not? I need to walk around. There's a million of them though. There's a million printers, right? But hold on. I need to walk around. One of the things I like when I stream is I like to be able to stand, and I like to stand, better energy that way, and I like to walk around if I can, even though that's not recommended. Here's one. I mean, there's a million of these, but this is what I use. QL11. This is probably old by now, but it's Bluetooth, it's wireless, so I can literally print labels from my phone. So if you're a new seller and you don't know you can do this, and here's some but there's 4x6 labels that you get. So I mean, it's definitely better than printing on, paper because you have the adhesive backs. But you would basically print, end your show, then you generate all the labels, then you email yourself the labels is one way to do it. I guess you email them, and then from my phone, I go to my email, I open up the PDF, and then I can just have my PDF, and then I print them from my phone right to that printer that you just saw. Had a packing problem. Nice. You called in your customer and your friend must respect this. Yeah, you got it. Packing. That's something we always talk about. I've ad nauseum about how important packaging is. Second economics. Maybe there's some advice there that we could learn, the toy man, like what's recommended. Like I wouldn't have, if Pun didn't tell me pack certain action figures in a little box, I might have just wrapped them in cardboard and put them in bubble or whatever. So, comics, they make things for that, but it's more expensive. You can take, as long as the comic is sandwiched, this between two pieces of cardboard and it's backed and bagged, then you're probably fine. So it's better not to show your face. Is that what I didn't think I said that? Unless I missed the context there. I mean, I think the product's number one. I think you could do both, like the toy man was saying. Ad Lagun, what are you selling? I think that matters. Let's see. You have a profile here. You're doing fashion. I think a lot of the fashion people are usually on camera. Storage unit finds jeans, dresses, and shoes. Ad Lagun. I would also, Adela, I would recommend updating your profile. It looks like you're pretty new. Why not put a little something about yourself to add a little personality to your profile and take advantage of that? Or maybe how people can contact you, what you sell, what you collect. Just a little, like 1 or 2 sentences about you, I think would be awesome. You're doing great. Hey, thank you, Pon. I appreciate that, buddy. And be careful out there. Let's see. I love rating. Yeah, rating is the best. So 23 asked earlier about like gaining bookmarks. I think rating is a really easy way to do that. It's a reciprocal thing too. Like if you come into someone's stream and you raid them, they're going to be so appreciative. They're going to shout you out, hopefully, and they're going to do a giveaway in your honor, those kind of things. And you're helping other sellers, which is going to help you. I just think just giving and being a positive person is only going to help you. Consistency, rating other streams. Maybe you rate someone maybe you rate somebody in your category and someone else's. It's always cool when I get a surprise raid from someone I had no idea I was going to get. That's always the coolest thing. So definitely do that. Let's see. The Swimman says showing your face helps connect to buyers. You're a personable seller. Don't be afraid to talk about yourself. I mean, that's great, Twimman. I agree. I think people, if you're building a following, I think it's cool if people start to kind of know you. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's great advice. Let's see. Ink less. Yeah, it's a thermal. No ink. Thank you, Toy Man. I noticed the Toy Man switches to face cam every time he gets rated, connecting with prospective new buyers. Dude, so the Toy Man's got some genius little plays in his playbook. That's a good one. Like, you know what else the Toy Man does that I should learn from this? I'm not organized enough to do this sometimes, and if you have a helper, it's even better. He writes down what people are looking for. I think, didn't you? If you want to talk about that, the Toy Man, he'll write down. He has like a log, like a Rolodex, per se of his buyers, or Let's see. Thanks, Toy Man. Thinking about selling my extras online, says Rai. Let's see. As a customer, if I know a show, it's definitely good to ask buyers here. Let's see. I know a show has something I want, I'll watch till it airs. I stay for the show. That's awesome, MP. And what you could also do, if you guys don't know this, is you can set a reminder to be reminded when that item goes up. But you're right, MP. It's probably better to just keep that show on so you don't miss it. Storage stuff. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your setup. If you're going into a storage unit, I think it's cool if you have a steady cam and you can on a tripod and you can show yourself unboxing. But if you need to be on camera while doing that, I think that's totally cool for that environment. Like I don't think if I'm selling GI Joe figures, I definitely don't need to be on camera. Like that takes away from things. So if anything, they need to see the product and only the product. Right, McClunky, welcome. But, shoe sellers sometimes they're doing their whole shoe thing, and I think that's just something that's the culture of selling shoes that they started doing it on Insta or TikTok, so they're just used to doing it that way. I don't really know the real answer there, but I think you don't have to be on camera for certain things. Absolutely, it's just keep trying, see what works, see what you're comfortable with. I would say too. Yeah, McClunky, thank you. I'll rate even if it's just me to get myself out there. Corporate, I love that. I should do that more. Sometimes when I have a smaller show, I feel like I don't want to rate them with 5 people that are left when my show kind of died out and I'm done. But you should just rate it with any number. I agree. How do you choose a raid? Um, like how do you do it technically, or how do you pick the person you want to raid? So I guess I'll answer both. I mean, rating is easy. When you end a show, it automatically gives you the option to raid. And once it does, it's going to give you suggested people to raid, whether they're people you follow or I'm not sure what other reasons they give, like who to raid. Maybe it's a category you like, but you could also ask chat, like, hey, is there anyone I could raid right now that you guys want me to raid? And then you could do it that way, or just see what um, the default one says, and then pick one like that. Or maybe in advance, if you want, what kind of shows are going on at that time. You could pick somebody maybe that only has like 5 or 10 people in their stream, and you want to help them out. Or maybe you pick a bigger streamer and you get noticed by a bigger streamer. Some people do that. I don't know if there's that much benefit to doing that, but it can't hurt. Let's see. I watched 2 months. Adel, that is the best advice ever. I watched for about 2 months and learn from others. Couldn't agree more. If you are going to be a seller on here, you are selling. There's nothing better that you can do than watching what other people do, and you can figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and learn from that, and see what the buyers and what chat is responding to positively, negatively, and learn from that. So that's great advice. Let's see. Rice is selling them easier for buying. Just catching up to the chats. Printer setup, checking EIN. All right, Ronnie, nice. And I'm sure it depends on your state and all that as well to get that information. But it shouldn't be as intimidating as it. I'm not sure you are intimidated, but it should be a lot easier than you would think to do. And there's so much information. That was weird. That whole time was no sound. Are we back now? No wonder everyone just started dropping. Okay. Thank you so much. I was saying, Abe. Um, no, it was me. Hold on, let's see. So Adel, keep those reviews up. I'll give you one more piece of advice because what's tough, I would imagine, about being a new seller is you only have 6 reviews and they're still counting them, which is cool. But like if one person gives you a 3 or a 4, it's going to kill your score. So you should be putting something in the package that recognizes, that says to them, thank you for your purchase. Like a little note, a handwritten note, anything, something professional. Like it doesn't matter. Put something in the package that just thanks them for the order and says, if anything's wrong with your order, I got you. Don't worry. Please contact me first. But all right, bye. It says, please contact me first before, I would say even before leaving a review, personally. That's, you know, and if you're happy with the order, then please go and I can read you mine if you want. Now you can't see me? Whatnot. Bah. Hold on. All right. I'm talking. I hope you guys hear me. I'd use boxes to cut down on waste, but I buy quantity the most common. Yeah, Detroit man, fantastic advice again. Hungry Han, welcome back. Art of War. Art of War took a really interesting approach to selling as a new seller. It's been very good to you, Rai. Um, Art of War wanted to get to the 1,000 sales quickly so they could get paid out automatically. Right, I think that's how it works. There's 1,000 orders, and then you get starting paid immediately upon the show ending versus waiting for stuff to deliver. So worth it says Art. So Art was just going on there and relentlessly selling things for $1 and just sell, 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 and didn't let it get him down that maybe there was 2 people in the show. And I think you said it was like you went 20 minutes maybe without a sale and stuck with it, which I think is extremely commendable. Is that the right word? Like I don't know, like most people, including myself, probably wouldn't have done that. I think I would have given up way before then. So, and I'm just being honest. So I commend you for doing that, and it worked. So what a great example Art of War made. Now you have the automatic. You've sold over 2,000 items in a very short period of time. Now that's not a long term. You stayed on an hour with no sales. Corporate God, you guys are amazing. That's impressive. Um, First or second show, 20 minutes of no action, but ended well. Yeah, I think it's kind of a great thing to bring up because you never know how things can start changing during the show. Even if it's 20 minutes or an hour, it could go from a complete disaster of a show to one of your best shows, depending on who's in the room, what you're selling. And it's so much timing because maybe Art of War or maybe corporate was selling it. All of a sudden, people started trickling in and it started to timings everything. And it started to kind of build naturally. So you never know. So I wouldn't give up as easy as I'm saying to. Let's see. Do you pack all your? No, it's not. That's okay. It is a lot. Um, I used to do almost all of them myself, and then I have someone part time. I had part time college students come in and do it, and I teach them the way I want it done. You can't do it all yourself. And then I have somebody else. Hopefully, she'll be here soon. That packs. So I'd say the majority now is somebody else doing it, but just so I can scale it. Otherwise, you're packing it. It kills you, right? Let's see. That's what happens. I'll go to N and then P. I know, isn't it? It's a weird thing, corporate. But yeah, sure. Okay, hold on one second. That was a good question, Zach. It depends on your shipping as well. That's what happened on Saturday, but after 20 minutes, it started to be good. See, that's awesome. Like that's good. That's a good thing to bring up, guys. Another big show can end. There you go, Toy Man. Exactly. Exactly. That's what happens. I'll go and end and people come in. I always joke when I'm about to end the show that I'm like, it's like an audio algorithm that whatnot hears. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to finish. I'm finishing the show. And all of a sudden, 10 people come in. I'm like, that's not right. Shipping system in a nutshell. I mean, first of all, I use the labels, obviously. I print them from my phone. That seems to be the easiest thing to do. And then I have, like the Toy Man said, I have my core box sizes that I keep on stock that I use the most of. Like as an action figure seller, the Toy Man can relate to this. We have probably a ton of like the smaller boxes, whatever works for us to pack. I have paper rolls. I mean, I can show you actually some of the stuff. My setup is I like to make it better, but it does the job. Let's see. Eye Candy Mercantile. Are you about to become a seller? It looks like maybe. Instagram. All right. So I mean, just things like this. Like here's some staples. Like I personally am all about paper. Like this is like a newsprint paper from Uline. This dispenser. Like this is always here. Everything is wrapped in paper to fill void. I have like different boxes. These are probably some of the boxes I use the most of, and I will reuse boxes like you guys were talking about before. Get as much free stuff as you can, obviously. Like we got a lot of free boxes too, but certain things I have to get the right sizes for. And then I don't want to show any of these, but like I have where are the baggies? Like these baggies are clutch for me too, because the kind of stuff I sell, I've got to use these clear bags for the figures or for any items. I love clear bags. They look professional versus a Ziploc, and they're probably cheaper than a Ziploc, honestly. I have a couple of sizes of those that I keep on hand here. I like to have little bins also to separate the orders, and there's nothing worse than getting a wrong order. So if you start, you're supposed to handle an order like one at a time, right? And sometimes if you start mixing up your labels and putting them all in the same place, that's how errors happen. So at least if they're all separated, into like this is a bin of one person's orders, for example. then at least we can't have those kind of mistakes happen. Hope that makes sense. It is hard to trust someone. You're right. It was hard to let go of that, and she's done an amazing job. Or actually, all of them have. You look at my reviews, I really haven't any problems with shipping. They follow the instructions. We do like a shake test on the boxes. Like if it's moving around in the box, it's not okay. As an example, it cannot move around the box. That's another rule. That's why I like paper to fill voids. Let's see. Oh, flat rate boxes, Art. Yeah, that's a tough one. Let's see. What's the question? Shipping is confusing. Oh, how do you mean? Let me know what you mean. I didn't know they did that, Dak. They did that? They should. They probably do well with that. I do the same. Bins are a good idea. I'll have like 20 plus individual orders on streams and get chaotic. Exactly. So it can get really chaotic. Another couple more staples. Now you guys are making me think about this. Like I always have. I don't know why I forgot to talk about this. You always should have a low tack tape. Like it looks like, look, most people know blue painter's tape, right? But this is the same stuff. Use this on the inside of your boxes. Never use packing tape on the inside. Tape guns. Why not get a tape gun? It's going to save you time. You might be awkward at first if you've never used a tape gun, but tape guns are something you want to have on hand as well. That goes on the outside, that goes on the inside. Let's see, it says whatnot, and they're nice and strong. Nice. Bins are a good idea. You gotta keep things separated. I mean, you don't have to put a lot of money into it either to keep things separated. Like I used to use these like cheap little box lids, like these white box lids. Or you could just use any box to separate orders, as long as you know. Like you could use like a work order bag. People would use, as long as you know all that person's items are in that bin or that bag. At least you know you're not going to mix it up with someone else's order. Let's see, painter's tape, exactly. But some of the painter's tape is pretty expensive if you buy the name brand stuff. So I don't mind buying the cheaper stuff because it does the same job that I need to do. Oh, thanks, Infinity. I actually think it looks terrible, so I'm glad you said that. Thank you very much. I wanted to get like a packing table and all that, but I got lucky and there was a retail store that gave us this, so I had all these little bins and everything, which is really nice, and all these little hanging things. But yeah, all you really need is a table, some paper, and some boxes, and you're in business. Let's see, $8.35 for flat rate. Yeah, I mean it's eight. The buyer's gonna pay the $8.35, and that's about it, right? To toy me, I think that's. I never really used that feature. Maybe I should, but that's the cool thing about the flat rate boxes and the USPS boxes is that they're free. If I can find one. That's FedEx. I use those for scrap because we have extra FedEx boxes, but a lot of these are free. You can go to the post office and get these for free. That's the best part. Send me a pic. Okay. If you have a person buy 10 things, how does the shipping work? Uline is expensive. Uline can be expensive if you're buying small quantities. Sometimes it's a convenience thing for me and I just get from them. I don't prefer to. Some items from them are actually cheaper for me than buying anywhere else, but I do try to reuse. 10 items, I mean, you just bundle it. So Whatnot bundles it as long as it's below the size requirements. I think they just keep everything in one order, and then I just try to find the appropriate size box. And it's good to have a tape measure or something handy. But for me, it's become like I just know, like what I need. I can kind of eye it at this point. Uline is expensive. So how do you set up 835? I think iCandy. I think that happens when you set up your show. When you actually set your show up, it gives you the option to turn that on. Let's see, because USPS flat rate boxes are free, but I've never used. Yeah, it's definitely worth getting those. Also, if you go to like a Sam's Club or a Costco, I always find these boxes really helpful to have around, either to carry my orders in, like to the post office. I have to drop them off there, or someone else does. I load them up in these, or if you have big stuff, like use them for your orders. Honestly, they're free and they're sturdy. They have handles on them. I mean, it's a nice free thing, a nice box there. What else? Thanks, corporate. I appreciate you. Let's see. How do you set? I'm just trying to read the rest of these. Reduce shipping setup. There you go. It says Art. It comes. Yes, Stack. Uline is the best customer service, and that you can set your your watch to them. They're phenomenal, but it can be expensive. So you have to compare. Is it worth paying the shipping for it? Like I don't get these from Uline, but I found like little retailers where I can get things for good prices, and I kind of use that vendor for certain things and others for others. And buying in bulk obviously helps too. Let's see. You can go lower than 835 as well. 12, 12, 12 from Uline. That's interesting, but as long it gets to the kind of stuff you're selling, maybe 12, 12, 12 is a common size to use. I don't like if you're gonna have a lot of void in a package. I personally don't like that, and I find that with 12, 12, 12s, the majority of the time, I'm gonna have a lot of void in my package, and I'm gonna have to use more materials to you know, to stop it from shaking around. But if it's a size that works for you for your product, then of course. Hope that was helpful, guys. I really do need to get on the road, but this is fun. Let's see. I should do more on that. It's funny because we started just talking about like what not to do, but we're talking about real practical things. And guys, there's been other good conversations like this in the other Q&As. So I encourage you to look at my past shows. But even better, if you could do me a favor, go to my YouTube, Springer Collectibles. All of the past streams here, all my lives are automatically connected to YouTube. So do me a favor, you go to Springer Collectibles YouTube, and you can watch more of these there. You can fast forward, find things. I'm gonna start to timestamp them so we can get the good stuff in there. Let's see. Art says I sell cards and smaller items on purpose, so I don't need larger boxes. Yeah, again, it really depends on what you're selling. Um, 17, 13, 13. That's a big box. That might be over the girth requirements, I think, or like the dimensional weight requirements. Definitely be on the lookout for that. I could be wrong. Oh, I see what you're saying. Then you Frankenstein those. I get it. Okay, you cut them down. Yeah, if you can do anything to save money, get free boxes, and it's not going to take you a lot of time. Of course, do that for sure. Um, yeah, of course, anytime, absolutely. And I try to do these like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks right now. But there's like 15 other episodes of these on YouTube too. And I think we've had some good conversations on here. A lot of information coming from you guys and a lot of different topics. And I think a lot of good quality information has been shared. Also, Whatnot Sellers, the official Whatnot Sellers channel. Look for their streams and look on the website. You can find previous seller summits where they talk about a lot of this stuff. And of course, there's a seller Discord if you're not familiar with that. Whoever signs you up, like your rep, make sure you have access to the seller Discord because there's probably a lot of content in there that will be helpful and it's gonna be more up to date. I feel like and more, it's official Whatnot employees also. The custom profile. I need to do that. It was a great suggestion, Art. I need to remember to try that today. Art War said that you can make a custom shipping profile, which I knew, but I didn't realize that. What did you say, Art of War? That if you choose 4 to 7 ounces, then your buyer might end up paying for the 7-ounce product. Is that what you're saying? And if I just made a 4-ounce product, then it would help them, and they would only pay for 4 ounces. So what Art did was made custom shipping profiles to help his customers, and it probably help you too, to keep so that you don't go over as well. So that's pretty smart. I got to do that. So you use a bunch of those custom ones. You can change incremental stuff. That's right. You said in grams. That's incredible, Art. I'm going to try that and then report back on here about that because I think that's so brilliant. And Dax, I don't think it matters. I wonder if it matters if someone's buying 10 items. I don't know. You just want to avoid getting to the point where you have to recalculate. I think is one reason. Art, any other reason other than to save your customers money? I think was the main reason. Is what Art said. I think. But if 1 to 3 ounces is the same price, like if I'm paying a 3-ounce shipping, if I buy something from Art, maybe that's what Dak's saying, that paying for a 1 ounce is the same thing. I'm not sure. I think that's maybe what you're saying. I have noticed that during the high price sports card live streams, there are ringers. I wonder, so TJ, I wonder if that's true. I hope not. That would be called shill bidding, if that's what you mean, or unless you mean like regulars that are just trying to pump up the price. The shill bidding is super illegal and horrible. What's best for one card? I would say 0 to 1 ounces for one card, unless you mean to ship it in. It's for buyers benefit only, says Art. Whatnot has its deals with USPS. So I hope that answered TG. I mean, I hope there's not shill bidding going on. It is. I have seen some high-end sellers on here. Whoa, what just happened? Donkey, oh my God. Donkey Dad, thank you. How'd this happen? Now I need to start selling stuff now. What the hell? Should we just turn this into a show now? Donkey Dad, best rate ever I've ever gotten, I think. Donkey Dad Collectibles, from one to the other, hbid.com, owner of Middletown Knife Company, wide variety of comics, collectibles, storage, finds, and more. 1.5 thousand reviews, guys. 5 stars. Check out Donkey Dad. It just shows how many sellers are on here. I don't think I've ever come across Donkey Dad. I'm saying Donkey wrong too, by the way, because I'm from Maryland. I say Donkey. Uh, Over 10,000 items, a 1 day average ship time, and a killer rate just now. 412 Damascus knives. Knives I've noticed have become really big on here. Daddy, Donkey must be killing with knives because I get asked for knives all the time. I've been Donkey punched. Let's see, how did Donkey decide to choose this stream? I would love to know. This is a seller Q&A stream, but I appreciate it. But we can sell stuff too. Woo! I got a Ric Flair in here. What should we do to Toy Man? A certain number will hit on the bid, but very next bid is always made by the same bidder. Oh, TG, that's called a custom bid. I think what you're saying. So they'll put in their custom bid. Runs the best knife shows. Yeah, knives. I'm telling you, I get asked for them all the time. I need to learn about knives. You came in at the right time on this, Donkey. I'm in Maryland, in Maryland. But Donkey Dad, like knives I've been huge on here. Get out of here. Get the fuck out. What? I'm in Baltimore County. Where are you? Wait, you said you had a store. I need to learn about. I'm gonna watch your stream to learn about knives. Unbelievable. You're in Maryland? Middletown, Frederick? What? That's pretty close. I got it right there. Let's find your store. I'm in Pikesville. Hawaiian stuff. I don't think I have any Hawaiian stuff. Case XX pocket knives equal money. Hardball. I gotta learn about knives now. Nice, Vicky. Storage unit finds, toys, and more. There you go, Sarah. Check out Sarah, guys. Wow, Donkey, thank you. It was just randomly found my stream. All right, Infinity, thank you. We're doing like a little seller Q&A here that I do, Donkey. Let's see, Donkey Dad, what did it say about your store? Let's see. I wish I had Hawaiian stuff, but let me know what else you guys are looking for. I love that you're asking. Maybe we'll turn this into a seller Q&A, into a seller show. Maybe that's a good thing because I could like show that I'm actually selling things on here. Owner at Middletown Knife. Oh, Middletown. Should have noticed that. I think USPS just came. Darn it. Middletown Knife. How did you find out about Whatnot Middletown Knife, Donkey? Wow. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna follow you so I don't forget. But I think I was just in Frederick recently. What was that? Like historic Frederick. He is an amazing seller, always fun to watch. Awesome. Hogman, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, bookmark Donkey Dad, guys. A few years ago, my brother turned me onto it. I mean, it's amazing. I'm like the last person they should be asking for knives, like during like action figure shows, and I still get asked for knives. So, brilliant. TG says, I have been struggling to gain any traction in my live streams, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Let's see, TG. Let's take a look at your profile. And what do you sell, first of all? Okay, 9:30. Wait, 8:30. Okay, that's August. TG's live stream storage unit finds. Well, I would definitely first put something about you in your profile, and that's a simple thing. But I don't know how many shows have you had. Let me take a look here. Past shows. I don't see any past shows. TG, are you under another name? All right, Hogman. Thank you. Got your knife this week, guys. Daddy Donkey Dad. Sports car. Oh, sports car category is really tough. It's very saturated, obviously. I didn't see, unless you're not putting your past shows up. Maybe not saving your past shows. But what's going on, Zamzal? Guys, check out Zamzal also. I feel like I bought from you guys. TG, definitely plan as many shows as you can. Oh, okay, fair enough. Sports cards are hard. TG, I'd say, first of all, you want to schedule those shows in advance, start getting some bookmarks. What are you selling exactly when it comes to sports cards? Are you doing breaks? Are you doing singles? Let's see. Zamzal hobby. I am Zamzal, and this is my hobby. Let's see, Zamzal, check them out. They got a show at 4:13, 2 o'clock. Ray's birthday show, storage unit finds. Check out Zamzal, guys. We try to give everybody follows here and bookmarks, make this a positive place to be. We also have WhatNotCon coming up. If anyone's got their WhatNotCon shows they want to talk about, go for it. Singles and mystery packs. Okay. Schedule preview for sports cards for sure. I mean, you might need to try to find a niche, TG, that is not so saturated. It depends what you're selling and what the singles are. Are they vintage? Are they modern? Because I think that you're going to have a totally different audience for each. It also helps when you follow other. Yes, definitely hangry. I love that you guys are giving the advice. Please do get yourself known. Go to other shows and ask if you can promote yourself. Donkey Dad's a seller friendly. There you go. I'm always promoting sellers in my stuff too. Older products. So there's a lot of interested buyers for vintage sports cars. I get asked for them all the time, and you're going to separate yourself from other from all the other sellers on here because most of them are selling new stuff. Early '90s Jordan. I mean, anything. So you could do a whole Jordan. I would say do a whole Jordan show. Like do a show dedicated to Jordan, and if you could do a mystery show, or I like to do a mystery show without the mystery. I saw. See, remember I was talking earlier about how you can learn from other sellers that maybe you don't even go in their categories. And I've done like every type of game and show and things like that. But this one I couldn't believe I missed out on. So they have a spin wheel, right? And it was a rock seller. I can't remember the name right now. Something rock stone, something. And what they did was they set up like 100 rocks, an $800 one down to like a $20 one, and they just started the bidding on it. So they had one big item, one hit. Now obviously that they could get screwed, and if it gets hit early, they're going to be in trouble. But that's part of the game. What I like about it is the buyers know exactly what they're getting. There's not like a terrible mystery pack they're going to get and be disappointed in. Now, if you juice up your mystery packs and they know that you have good mystery packs, then do that. But if you can do the wheel spin, it creates a lot of excitement too. People want to stick around to see if that Jordan got hit. So I'm using it as an example. I'm not saying do a Jordan rookie, but let's say you had an '88 Jordan, a third year graded. That could be your big hit, and then everything else could be like a pack of 5 Michael Jordan like commons. I think that could be a good show personally, and people wouldn't be that disappointed if they end up with 5 Michael Jordans with the chance to win the big Michael Jordan. Does that make sense? Like that could be a good way to do it. But I know you need to get the people in there. But if people know about it and someone like Jordan make a whole show about Jordan or all the GOAT show or something like that. All Star Toy says, so I'm confused with the custom boxes in selling profile. Can you set box size? Always have to. Yeah, you definitely can. All Star Article was talking about that before. You can make custom profiles for shipping. So if you have a certain product you're always sending, use that and then weigh it, and like you can name it and you always use that for that product. And then you don't have to worry about changing it later and whatnot. I don't think you have to really change anything and whatnot. You don't have to edit your shipping labels unless there's a huge discrepancy in the size. Like if you go over the 12, 12, 12 dimensional weight, then you might have to change it. Yeah, ask the seller permission. That's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind when people do that, but it's better to have you can just go in people's streams and start promoting yourself without any kind of context. Like I'm happy to do that because you guys know. Like I'll say during my shows, I'm happy to shout you out. That's how I got on here in the first place. So I like to give back. Like a seller was really generous and giving me information on how to become a seller. It was a lot harder before. It was a 5,000 person wait list. It was nuts. This is early 2021. And, I think you all should be able to promote each other because you never know. Maybe there's a seller in here. Maybe like Donkey Dad came in here, for example, and maybe there's someone in my stream that collects knives and I can introduce him to Donkey Dad. And then all of a sudden he's got a new customer. And that's great. I'm happy about that. He's happy. And then it becomes reciprocal too, hopefully as well. Had someone spam nonstop. It was rude. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know how anyone could feel good about doing something like that. That's not right. Chat will go after someone like that anyway. But don't be rude. Yeah, exactly. I think you just have to have kind of the proper way about doing that without, hopefully that's just kind of a once in a while kind of person. So hopefully I answered the question for TCG. The other thing is just keep being consistent. It's definitely harder now to be on here than when I started, obviously, because there's so many sellers. And it's so easy to scroll now. They didn't even have that scroll feature before. Now you can swipe, 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 and they'll lose you. They'll forget you're even there. So I recently made a Discord, and we'll grow that. In the Discord, I have a section for recommended sellers that cover. Oh, that's so cool. That's a good idea. All-Star Toys. I do go over 12, 12, 12, so I need custom boxes. Whoa, 12, 24, 6. That's pretty big. But the custom is more about weight. So yeah, once it hits goes over that dimensional weight, which it sounds like it's doing, then it could be like a 2-pound item, but they're going to charge you like it's a 20-pound item. If that makes sense. All-Star Toys. Let's see their profile. I buy and sell Star Wars toys. Nice. I primarily deal with action figures, vehicles, and starfighters. I'm looking to add to the Star Wars community and whatnot. I've done a lot of Star Wars selling on here, and the Star Wars community is awesome. Love vintage Star Wars. And you have a show coming up tomorrow at 9:30, heading towards May the 4th, Figs and Vehicles. Nice. I would definitely start to schedule all your shows in advance. Not that you're asking for that advice, but like I have my May the 4th show already scheduled. Baseball Mystery with Jeter Rookie. That's graded. That is the main chaser. That's awesome. Mystery of the Jeter. I mean, people definitely want to play that type of mystery game. Yeah, that's tough, All Star. I mean, you might have to start unbundling certain things so you don't go over. I'm not sure. That's something I would ask your whatnot replicate. It sounds like you're selling very large toys and very large vehicles, maybe. And when people, buy multiples, it starts to get a little wonky there, right? Whatnot does not have the ability for us to sell a service or a digital product. That's a good question. What's funny is they used to do NFTs on here. I don't think you do that anymore, but I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like I heard someone else ask about that, but I would say probably not. Definitely a good question. All right, I just realized it's getting late, guys. That raid was awesome, though. Is there anything you guys would look? I can't turn a Q&A stream into a selling stream, but you got it, Adel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Um, thank you. Exactly. So having a good character is definitely big in this, guys, and having a good attitude and good vibes. But guys, I'm gonna come on in a little bit. I'm trying to think. Maybe I won't even have time to go to the unit today. Maybe I'll just stay on and sell instead, or pop up again. Let's see. But guys, if you're looking for other conversations we've had, you guys can go on YouTube, my YouTube Springer Collectibles. You can find previous shows on the playlist. Same kind of format we've done. Thank you so much, TG. And guys, feel free to reach out. I know enough that I can help you out. Obviously, keep talking to the community, keep watching other streamers, and just keep learning and being consistent. So I hope you guys come and hang out at my shows and also future Q&As. I really appreciate you guys spending all this time with me too. I hate to end it now, but I'm going to take care of a few things, and I'll be live later if you guys want to see me sell as well. Make sure that you bookmark, and then there's Whatnot Con stuff coming up. So I'm John, Springer Collectibles. I usually say thanks for the bids, buys, and BS, but there was just BS today. So just thank you guys, and let's raid somebody now too. We got 24. Thanks everybody. See you. Oh wait, before I raid, who should we raid? Maybe we'll ask you guys. We can raid somebody that's on right. That's thanks for the 8 BS. Thanks for doing that. I'm gonna raid somebody who I see first, unless you guys have anyone that you want me to raid. I'm just gonna deals to steals. All right, let's try that one. Thank you guys. I'm John, Springer Collectibles. Let's find deals to steals. Thanks everybody. And see ya. Deals. There it is. Wait, deals to steal. They got a lot of viewers, but we'll do it anyway. All right, guys. See ya.